Dude, I've seen rice stuffed in a turkey, in a chicken. I've never seen a pig stuffed with rice like this.
Yeah.
I bet that other pig would eat this pig. Oh, have some pig here. Cuba. The trip begins officially right now, this moment.
Cuba, an island of about 11 million. It's only a 1-hour plane ride from the US. Yet, for decades, because of tensions between the two countries, Americans traveling to Cuba was nearly unheard of. Only in the past few years has travel to Cuba become a possibility.
I would like to take a moment to thank all of you here. It is my first day in Cuba. It looks cool. It's a place I've heard so much about since I was a kid, but didn't really know anything about until today. And so just want to say, gracias.
Okay, now in Spanish.
These days, tourists from the mainland have begun to trickle in larger numbers, but filming in Cuba is still its own unique challenge.
Oh, my heart. Oh my God, I'm actually gonna cry.
So about a year ago, we tried going to Cuba the first time. 2 days before we were supposed to take off, we got news that the whole trip was canceled. Now, Cuba, round 2.
Instead of a tourist visa, my team is headed to Cuba on a journalist visa, working with a local production company who worked with the Cuban government, ensuring we have approval for our video topics, locations, itinerary, and schedule. Shooting like this in Cuba is only a recent possibility.
Do you know this, that for Americans traveling here, we're not allowed to support any government-owned place. If it's a government hotel, government restaurant, can't go there. Government soda?
This series is a delicate balancing act with the end goal of showing you the Cuba you have never seen before.
Today, we're on the search for street food in Havana.
Right now we're heading to Baliles.
Today, we're in Ciénaga de Zapata.
Right here from Baracoa.
Me and my longtime friend Oro are on a mission to document the most unique Cuban food,
That's an avocado.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
life, and culture.
Now you need to be silent and very careful because this is a dangerous process.
Traveling all the way from Cuba's west coast, driving over 20 hours to its east coast. Starting in the countryside city of Viñales.
Oh, dude, look at this. It's like a pool of oil.
Exploring the country's capital of Havana.
Coast on my left, buildings on my right. I'm in the back of a convertible.
Then heading eastward, going off map to hunt down the most dangerous meal you'll find in Cuba.
No, come on, no more acting, just catch it.
What do you mean acting? Look.
Oh, I feel your nipple.
Finally, we complete our journey with a fiesta on the country's east coast in the city of Baracoa.
The move imitates kind of what they do in the field.
Is one of them like this?
Joining me on this mission, Cuban native Oro Padron. Oro was born in Cuba and lived there well into his 20s. Years later, he moved to Korea. That's where we met.
So what's this story?
Eventually, he moved to Miami and I took off to Vietnam.
All right, I'm gonna go into my character now. Are you ready?
Last year, Oro and I joined forces in Miami, where he introduced me to my first taste of Cuban food.
I can't tell, is this healthy or not?
Healthy or not, it's really hard not to fall in love with it.
Now, with your support and with a lot of preparation, the Best Ever Food Review Show is making YouTube history with the food journey of a lifetime. Today begins our best ever food journey across Cuba, starting in the west, in a town known as Viñales. Viñales is a region dominated by agriculture, fruits, vegetables, coffee, and their country's infamous tobacco.
Here we are, day one, Viñales, my first morning in Cuba. Today is all about a classic dish of this country, I think so. Anyways, it's a classic dish in the Philippines. We're talking about lechon. But look at that. It's like a pool of oil. Oh my Lord.
This place has a special way to make it because they make it like in a hammock. They're like, you know what I mean? How you call this?
Longtime friend and Cuba native, Oro Padron, will join me as we take on the classics of Cuba.
This area is famous for tobacco. Somehow I'm gonna have Oro teach me how to smoke.
No, I never put anything in my mouth, like smoking wise. No, I never.
So grab a horse, grab a friend, and get ready to soak up the traditional flavors of Cuba.
Oro.
Oro.
Listen, we got our coffee here.
This smells amazing, man.
It smells like,
Coffee.
yeah.
Outside of Havana, deep in the countryside of Vinales, exists a small complex called Los Lorenzos, housing 5 families. Oro and I are the lucky guests of the local community here, and there's no better way to welcome guests than with the pride of Cuba.
All right, let's try out this coffee.
This is strong, brother.
It's so strong. It's like Cuban jet fuel.
Oh man, this is one of the strongest coffee in the region, in whole Cuba. Normally, to prepare the coffee, first you get the powder and then you put hot water and you filter it, right? They do it different. They boil the coffee with the water.
Right.
That makes it even stronger.
It's kind of smooth for being so
It's very smooth,
intense. But man, I feel this immediately. I'm super alert and a little bit nervous.
Yeah, it gave me anxiety. I'm like,
Oro, you are a man of no vices. You don't drink, you
No.
don't smoke,
No.
you don't even like coffee.
no.
So what is your vice?
My vice is dancing, bro.
No, it's women.
You made me red. I don't get red, but I am inside. I'm red. It's dancing. I haven't told you yet, but the roots of my families are from this area. They have a culture of acceptance. This region is famous for that.
Right.
For people being too kind, too naive, too kind of like childlike. I just find out today that how I am has to do a lot with this region. This is where this was made.
Right.
Yeah.
Made in Cuba.
The root, yeah.
Cuba was colonized for hundreds of years by Spain. During that time, African slaves were brought to the island to work the fields. Now, hundreds of years later, Cuba is a diverse melting pot of ethnicities. This person, this person, this person. Though they may have different backgrounds, they're all Cuban, and they all share the distinct culture that makes this place what it is.
You grew up in Cuba. How old were you when you left?
My early 20s, almost 13 years.
How do your parents feel about that? Like the kids went on to bigger opportunities that they couldn't find here? Are they sad that you're gone?
It's hard for me to know if they are sad or not. They always like, we're happy for you. I'm like, no, but tell me if you are suffering so I can do something for you. They're like, no,
Yeah.
it's your life, walk.
I tried lechon in the Philippines. Not once, but 4 times.
Whoa. That is like a work of art, man. Oh my Lord.
It's the very same dish inspired by Spain, but here in Cuba, they do lechon a little differently.
Is this an old gate door? This looks like a medieval torture device. I love it.
Yeah, it looks like that, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's called hamon.
First, in each crevice of the pig, they rub in a mixture of garlic, onion, cumin, lime, and calamansi juice. Then a rub down of salt. Finally, they prepare the pig to roast on a wire hammock.
Why do they do it this way?
Porque según haya calor abajo.
Okay. He say like, this is to measure like how far they put it. You know, if they need more heat, they can put it low. And if they need less heat, they can put it up and they can turn it around if they want.
So instead of adjusting the fire necessarily, they can just move this around
Yeah,
more easily.
it's easier. It will look like me in an hour.
This pig is gonna hang out here for 4 hours. In the meantime, Oro shows me Cuba's most addictive vice, and what is still a hard-to-come-by forbidden pleasure in the USA.
Sir, first of all, thank you. What is your name?
José Luis.
Jose Luis.
Jose Luis.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Cuba is kind of famous for its tobacco.
Not just that, like this area is like the most famous area for tobacco in Cuba and in the world.
What makes the tobacco here so different from anywhere else in the world?
Porque, bueno, aquí el tabaco es especial porque el clima.
Tobacco needs a climate where it's like here. They have a little bit of heat, but it's not too much. At night it gets chilled, but it doesn't froze, you know what I mean? So for that, it makes the earth right here very special and nutritious for the tobacco.
Brilliant. Can you roll one for us? Something? That is like dried tobacco leaves. And he's gonna turn that into
This is the
drugs. All I know is that, growing up, there's this embargo with Cuba, and there was these prized cigars that were illegal to have in the US. But if you had it, it was like this secretive thing. You can't tell anybody how you got it. But nowadays, I think people can get Cuban cigars in the US.
Easier,
So it's lost a little bit of the mystique. Oh, what?
Oh, in the leg. Twist it, twist it.
Oh, yeah. Look at this guy.
Confidence right there.
Looks cooler than me.
Yeah, he does. Oh, what's that? Are you enjoying that?
Oro, you're next, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, you gotta do it, dude.
Dude. Actually, the flavor is not bad. It's interesting because it's like eating spicy food. You go through the pain, and after the pain, the flavors come back.
It kind of singes the inside of your mouth. That is the highly coveted Cuban cigar here in Cuba, standing in a tobacco field next to two ox. That has nothing to do with it, but that's pretty cool, huh? Hey, stop. Okay, cool. Roasting has been underway for a few hours now. You can see it's mostly finished, but right now, they're gonna do a flip.
They're going to dismount it and then flip it.
I've seen so many flips in my day. Egg flips, pancake flips, but never have I seen a lechon flip. There's so many hot juices that have pooled in here. Oh, that sound is awesome. Oh, that's pretty crispy.
It's like a cookie, like a pig cookie.
Can you ask him if it's overdone?
No, mira. Ella está bien. Aquí.
They usually don't eat this part here. They eat the rest.
Sounds good. Now they're gonna put it back on. How much longer is this gonna be on here?
1 hour more.
This is gonna roast for 1 more hour and then dinner time.
Hay guateque en el bohío del compadre Juan Ramón.
From the time you left Cuba until now, it's been well over 10 years. It's a good amount of time. Any city, any country would change in over 10 years. What changes did you notice?
Some of the change is like how the country feels decayed and it feels not advancing. Technology-wise, mentally, the country feels like it doesn't have a clear direction of where it's going.
Hoy lucen su guayabera, sus polainas y sus machetes.
But on the other hand, I'm very happy when I came here because it's very interesting how in the deep roots of Cuba, the culture is so pure and the education is so well preserved. And they don't do it because they want to show the world or anything. It's like, we love how we are. We love to be comfortable. Actually, this kind of being a little emotional because I'm like, damn, this is it. Like, how pure is this?
Y llegando bailadores comay por los caminos atascados.
Boom. Lechon, my man.
Here it is.
It looks beautiful. As one of the cooks, you're the first one who gets hold of the pig. Is there some great section that you break off and sneak for yourself?
He said that he loved the little piece of skin because they become very crispy.
Oh, this one's really bubbled up. This one's almost become like a pork rind. It's crunchy, but it's almost become fried in its own oil. It's like a chicharron. All right, I'm gonna cut off this nose for you.
I want you to try it. I don't want it.
But different texture. It's kind of squishy.
A little dry.
Yeah.
It's not gross, but it's just hard. It's like you need to fight for it.
It's kind of like a bacony nose. I wish my nose tastes like bacon.
It tastes like bacon.
What?
No, I don't know your nose. Well, I know your nose, but I don't know how it tastes.
It's hard not to know it. It reaches out and greets you.
I want to show you his most favorite part.
Wow, look at this. Some crispy bits, some juicy bits. He just cut this from the underside. What is it called?
Fillet.
Let's try it out.
Okay,
That's a 10.
this is different. Yeah.
I think that side's better because they were cooking this side.
Yeah.
The underbelly side, it's been like bubbling up in its juices all day. Wow, that's so juicy. The seasoning really came through.
Yeah.
Sir, mucho gracias.
Juicy, succulent lechon is just the start. Joining our countryside feast, fried goodies made from plantains and taro root. Next, boiled cassava, known locally as yuca, and congri, a staple of this region, made with a base of black beans and rice, then garlic, cachucha pepper, cilantro, onion, and pork fat.
I would like to take a moment to thank all of you here. It is my first day in Cuba. The fact that I get to come together with all of you, meet you, and be met with such kindness and hospitality, it's really kind of blown my mind. So just want to say, gracias.
Okay, now in Spanish.
When you grew up, is this a typical kind of dinner?
Very typical. In a place like this is something that you eat 3 times a week. Especially in the countryside, you cook after you work the whole day. It's not just like you go and watch a bunch of YouTube.
This looks stunning. I'm gonna try some of this rice. That's some good rice and beans. Savory, hearty, great texture, like so moist. Love it.
It's so simple, but if you see every element, they dance with the main dish, which is the pig. The rice, all the rest are the friends, but he's a star. They're just like dancing with him.
Is it the salsa dance?
It's a salsa.
Look at this big juicy bite of this lechon. Ooh, that's unreal. You know, I've only had lechon in the Philippines. They take so much care with the skin and how they put soy sauce and different stuff on it, oil to make it crispy. I can say I appreciate that skin more, but the meat inside here, especially like that pork loin, it's undeniable. That's some of the best meat I've ever had. How long have you been a band?
22 years old.
Is that water in your cup?
It's room. No, but no.
Oh. Oh, it makes me warm inside. It feels like Christmas morning. You guys live in the countryside? Do you like that more, or do you like the Havana lifestyle more?
They say they like to visit Havana, but no, they like laid back. The city is not healthy for them.
Too much rum.
No, not a lot of rum.
My first taste of Cuba. The food, I had no doubt about.
Oh yeah.
But the reception, the lengths these people went to make me feel at home was even better. Our cross-country Cuba food tour is just getting started. We're headed to the big city, Cuba's capital, Havana.
Welcome to Havana, city of 2.1 million people. Today, we're on the hunt for some street food.
That's right, we're here in Havana, and why does Sonny have the cool car and I get...
Today, we're on the search for street food in Havana. I've been told, don't expect a lot. There's certain cultures that are hardcore street food cultures, like Vietnam. Woo! In certain places, not so much. Maybe they're more in these places called paladeres. What's that? I bet Oro could tell me.
Paladar is a family-owned restaurant, but at the same time, any restaurant that is independent. Let's check out the food, let's have fun, and let's see if me and Sonny can handle a full day of Cuban street food.
No.
Street food in Havana is about simplicity, being creative, and utilizing affordable ingredients that are easy to get. Here in El Cristo Park, one food vendor plays by these exact rules. At home, he's baking up dozens of these, his own creation. Then he hits the streets and starts to sell.
Sir, how long have you been selling food here?
Almost 6 years.
How long does it take to sell out usually?
2 hours. With confidence. He's like, this is coconut, the one with the texture like that, and this is guava with cheese.
Can I try this one with the cheese?
Yeah, let's do it, let's do it.
You certainly can. So it looks like a biscuit, some bread with some jam, and some cheese on top.
Yeah, and this is like a biscuit with coconut on top.
What kind of coconut?
We call it coquito. What they do is like they boil coconut, sugar, cinnamon for half an hour until that everything evaporates, and this is the result of that.
Ah, it's a coconut and cinnamon reduction.
Or amplification, depending how you look.
Let's try it out.
Oh.
I like it. It takes some getting used to. It's kind of a dry biscuit, and then it's like, okay, oh no, there's some jam on there. And then you're like, wait, is that cheese? That is cheese. I want to see which one I like more. Do you want to switch?
Let's switch.
This one's better though. What's your thoughts? I'm looking at your face.
I still like it that more.
Yeah, but what are your thoughts on that?
I like this. I love that.
This
I
is
love
like
all my love.
when you tell your friend they should date somebody and they're like, tell me about them, and you're like, they're nice.
They're pretty.
I got that treatment a lot in high school.
Just down the street, a fruit cart has caught my eyeballs.
Do not tell me this is an avocado.
That's an avocado.
Are you kidding me?
Yes. Look at this.
I've never seen an avocado this
That's
huge.
an avocado. Yeah.
I think I remember you telling me a long time ago.
Yes.
Like, we have avocados this big, like a watermelon.
And you were like, no.
Not possible.
Yes.
Okay, right here there's a special machine. I want to see this at work. Can we try it out?
Yes, it's super easy. You just need to like rotate.
Okay, I can handle this.
Yeah, you got it.
Look at that.
You got it.
And it's all the way off.
Snake skin, you see? We got it. You see how long?
It looks like grapefruit texture inside.
Now we gotta taste it.
Oh, it's good.
It's sour, but it's good.
It tastes like an orange.
Actually, orange used to be bigger here in Cuba. We used to produce a lot of orange. Right now, I think the production came down and the quality also came down a lot because the land hasn't been taken care of as well as before. That's why we don't have better quality of orange. But there was a time that this was very important part of the Cuban economy.
Oh, it's good. It was succinct. It was a little sad too.
That's Cuba. Contrast, brother.
That's reality.
Yeah, contrast.
To bring me up from Oro's sad fruit trivia, a much-needed sugar rush. Cuban sidewalk churros at Churros Locos, the most loco stall you'll find in all of Havana. This is Churro Evolution.
Eres perfecta mujer, de la cabeza a los pies. Tú pasas de mi nivel, tú tienes el piquete.
Check it out, man. We're just standing on the street eating a churro.
You know about churros, right?
Yeah, invented in Cuba.
Nope.
No. Mexico?
No, it comes from Spain. Cuba has a lot of Spanish tradition. That's why we inherit the churros in our culture as well.
Cheers.
Cheers. It looks like a cactus, isn't it? Maybe that's why people think it's from Mexico, because it looks like a cactus.
That's a good churro.
It's a good churros.
I like that. Like me, it has some imperfections. Like some parts are fat, some are thin and crispy.
Do you notice what is inside of the churros?
Is that condensed milk?
Condensed milk. You know I love condensed.
Yeah, it's super sweet.
It's really sweet. In this case, they put inside of the churro, which is good mixture.
They're building on what the Spaniards started.
Originally, it wasn't stuff. You see? Evolution.
I love it.
Now, one of the most unlikely non-Cuban Cuban foods you'll find in Havana.
Dude, this is a pizza.
It's a real pizza.
Pizza shops are everywhere in Havana, and with good reason.
Every single street food that we met, they have something in common. They have really few elements.
Food shortages are not uncommon here. 70 to 90% of the country's food is imported.
After the 60s, when we have a huge crisis, we have to create food that is simple, easy to make, and really hard to get wrong.
So, if you're selling ham sandwiches and you run out of ham, you're out of luck. But pizza only really requires 4 ingredients: water, flour, tomato sauce, and cheese. Every Cuban pizza is a personal pizza, made for you and only you. Toppings range from ham to sausage or even hot dogs, but the way they eat it is a style all its own.
You flip it like this.
Like a taco.
Exactly.
Let's go for it. It's rich. It's super doughy. I love how doughy it is. Is that hot sauce? It's just covered in like a sour hot sauce,
sour
not even
too.
tomato sauce.
Yeah.
This is good, dude.
Actually, this is something that people eat it 8 in the morning. It's just quick, easy, and you get filled and get going.
Very nice.
This is where Havana goes to chill on weekends. John Lennon Park. In the corner, a government-ordered statue created in his honor in the year 2000. This is kind of baffling, considering the Beatles' music was banned in Cuba when the band was most popular a decade prior. These days, a more culturally liberal Cuba blasts music of all kinds from this park, luring in locals who might throw back a drink or grab some food.
What do we have right here?
So right here we have Ancon Croqueta, which means pan is bread. Croqueta, it comes from French, from croquette. That's the croqueta.
Right, it's like seasoned fried mashed potatoes, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very nice. And then this is the same thing, but in a sandwich?
Yeah, the same thing.
Due to its simplicity, and practicality.
It can fill a lot of space.
This used to be Cuba's go-to sandwich, especially in the 90s. Bread, fried croquette, and a little bit of ketchup. That's all you need here for a good time in your mouth.
I like it. There's not much to say about it. It's simple, straightforward, soft bread, fried potato, a little bit of ketchup in there, a little bit of tomato kick at the end.
It's not potato. It's made out of flour, meat.
Potato.
Not potato.
It tastes potato-y to me. I'm
It's
sorry.
not potato.
I'm so sorry. But man, this is filling.
It is filling.
All right, let's get some beers. I saw someone with beer over there. Let's check that out.
Beer.
Until just a few years ago, private restaurants in Cuba were illegal. Then, due to an economic crisis, the government made some reforms. And that's how paladars were born. They are family or privately owned restaurants. Originally, they were run from people's homes, and many still are today. Like here, hidden away in the suburbs of Havana, right in front of the paladar owner's home,
Her home is right there.
sits Cafeteria a la Barbecue, a place where filmmakers and artists share ideas and grab some grub. This is Cuban diner food, served fast, making the most of what they have. Like their hamburger.
Pan con hamburguesa.
So bread with hamburger?
Since beef is scarce, their burger patty is made with pork.
I'm gonna try that right now. I like it a lot. I don't know if I've ever had like a pork patty for a burger, but that's really good. It's very juicy. This seems like Cuban fast food, but with good quality. Can she talk about how she prepares for the service?
What is fast is how she prepares her team to act fast. Everything she prepared the day. Because her goal is keep everything fresh.
Right. What do you got there?
What I have here, we call Masas De Puerto.
This dish epitomizes Cuban cuisine, at least in Oro's eyes.
This is something that my mom used to make when I was a kid.
Simple yet colorful and seductive.
Oh.
A huge portion of rice, grilled pork chops, and in-season locally grown veggies and sides.
This is a pork chop.
Yeah.
And you know, usually pork chop to me can be a little dry, but this is so good. It's so
And
juicy.
actually, yeah, but the way they make it here is super oily. But she has a balance between that, making not too dry, but still not too oily, which I love.
To finish, dessert, made inside a reused soda can.
Right here, this thing that you're drinking here, they cut it, they put all the ingredients, they boil it. When they cool down, it becomes that thing that you're eating right there.
That's really good. It was very sweet and velvety soft on my tongue. Perfect way to end lunch.
Cuba is a place of creation, expression, and fierce entrepreneurship, waiting to unleash its innovation. In this city, one hardly known paladar is delivering seafood in a way completely unique to Cuba.
Check it out. We're doing an interview in an inconvenient location, but it looks great.
It works. It's okay.
Satisfied.
Satisfied.
Sir, what is the name of your restaurant?
La Casa de Julio.
And you are none other than Julio himself. Did you live here before it was converted into a place where people could come and eat?
La Casa de la Familia.
This was his family's house 7 years ago. They decided to convert it into a restaurant because you can see it has a beautiful view.
My understanding is that this is how the paladar started.
Yes, right now there is people owning restaurants, but back then that was impossible. So the first step was that family-owned concept. It was like a test.
Can you tell me about what makes your restaurant so special?
Nuestro restaurante.
That when we get into the home, we don't feel like we are getting into a restaurant. He's inviting us to his house. He just wants us to be welcome. And what we are eating is what he will cook for his family.
Sir, thank you so much.
Yes.
And
Jam.
pause. And wide shots.
Joining us at the table, Mr. Julio and his wife.
It's a beautiful evening. I know we missed the sunset, but it still looks beautiful here.
All the seafood cooked here comes right from the ocean. No, not the far away ocean. I'm talking about the patch of ocean in front of his home. The owner either catches it himself or has local fishermen do the deed, reeling in fresh fish like this tuna. His daughter, and also our head chef, mashes it up, then combines it with onions and mayonnaise to create a filling for these plantain cups. Slices of plantain are shaped and fried until crisp and filled with creamy tuna goodness.
This is from a plantain, and then inside they put this wonderful tuna and mayonnaise. Go for it.
Get it?
Bingo. Simple, delicious, crunchy, and then nice rich tuna salad.
If you cut it in
Oh,
half,
you got a cross section.
this is made with CGI. You will put a laser so you can see how it's inside.
Is a joke happening right now? Okay.
Next on our menu, bite-sized sections of lobster tail cooked in a secret tomato chili sauce.
Let's try this out. Thick, robust, delicious lobster tail.
This is a tradition to put sweet potato with any seafood.
Oh, really?
The sweetness of the sweet potato with the sourness and the saltiness of the seafood.
Let's give it some tomato on there too. Yes, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna try it out. I like that. And it kind of draws out the experience too. Usually I just kind of down the whole lobster tail in 2 seconds. But I like that.
Our final dish, garbanzo bean seafood soup.
This thing is stuffed with seafood. There's so much seafood in here.
Julio tried it in Spain during a holiday and has been cooking it ever since. But with his own twist, he's replaced unavailable ingredients like Spanish ham with seafood he caught in his backyard. They cook it all in a big pot with a secret blend of spices. Garbanzo beans, beer, tomato sauce, and garlic paste. Okay, hold on. I guess it's not really secret after all.
I gotta dislodge some of this so I can get down to the broth for you, bro.
You're not pretending me to eat that whole thing, right?
This is for you, man. You're the guest of honor.
I mean the hand, how you call the crab hand?
Yeah, we just call it crab hand.
Cloth.
No, we call it crab hand.
Well, the crab hand. How you eat the crab hand?
Ah, see right here.
Oh, you see? We got technology right here.
Here we go.
Oh.
That right there, best meat in the whole crab. Try it out.
You got it.
I've never seen a dish that has more seafood and more variety. Like every bite is a little different flavor, different texture. There's just so much in there. Can I ask how much that costs? Because I know in the US, if you got that at a decent restaurant, I'm like, I don't know, in the US, it's probably like $25, $30 just for that.
¿Cuánto cuesta ese plato?
6 pesos.
It costs $6.
That's ridiculous.
He said that it's a hook, the right hook.
Yeah.
He's proud of it.
I love that. This is so fun. So just want to say one more time, mucho gracias.
Adapt and overcome. This is the ethos felt around Havana. From pizza to 5-star seafood, what really makes Cuba work isn't the ingredients, it's heart. Today we're leaving the country's capital, Havana, and heading east to the city of,
Bahía de Cochinos, Playa Larga, Caletón. It's not that hard to say.
Here, we're taking on a food rare even in Cuba.
You cannot try this dish anywhere else. It's not even allowed.
But there's one small problem. Before we can take a bite, we have to catch our dinner.
Oh no!
And hope it doesn't take a bite out of us.
Oh no, there's another one behind it!
First.
My plan is to see if we can kind of work around their usual rules and restrictions and have Oro catch a crocodile.
Crocodile? No. Why you mean crocodile? Like touch them? Like be close?
Is someone gonna help me out of this boat?
Hola.
In Cuba, business owners and locals wake up early to pick up fresh ingredients from small local markets like this. Today, we accompany Crocodile cooking specialist Alexis.
We are with the crocodile cooker himself. What is your full-time role? Is that all you do is cook crocodiles?
No.
It's more like a seafood cook, but crocodile is one of his specialties.
At his restaurant, he'll be whipping up a one-of-a-kind crocodile spread.
How do you say crocodile?
Cocodrilo.
Cocodrilo. Is it cocodrilo seafood?
No, marico. Más bien.
He said that he has 3 flavors. Before cooking, it can taste like chicken or pork, but after cooking, it tastes more like fish.
So he's tasted it raw?
No recomendable.
He's like, nobody does that, but I do it.
Right now we're off to a crocodile farm where he's gonna actually catch a crocodile.
Hold on a second. Me or we?
I need to like tell the camera guys what to do.
I heard that from you before.
Why you don't do it?
Because I'm too fat.
When we were trying to jump. No, I don't want to do it, man.
Jump? Oh, bungee jump. Yeah.
4 years ago, Oro and I made a concept for a show called The Year of Fear. I encouraged Oro to bungee jump, which he wasn't happy about. Unfortunately, I wasn't allowed to bungee jump because I surpassed the weight limit.
They used to be handsome, man.
Now I'm encouraging Oro to catch a giant reptile, which he's also not happy about.
Did you tell him that you're gonna catch it?
Dice que yo voy a cazar el cocodrilo.
Es imposible.
No, it's not
Es
possible.
imposible, bro. Dice que eso es una técnica solamente los
Not looking good for Oro. Right now, he's just cutting right through Oro's hopes and dreams, crushing his spirit. You hate to see it, folks. You hate to see it. Can you translate that?
It's like, no way you can catch that. Only people who has born here can do it. It's very dangerous.
But he can try. What's the worst that can happen? Thank you. We'll be back. You'll see all of me, and you might only see part of Oro.
I can see Alexis has shaken Oro's confidence. So before we go face to face with the crocodiles, Oro and I are gonna carb up at a back alley factory where they're kicking out one of Cuba's most unique foods.
I brought you to a place where they produce casabe.
Casabe.
Yeah, casabe. It's the most authentic Cuban food that we conserve today.
Casabe is Cuban flatbread, a staple dish in this region. Inherited straight from the indigenous Arawak people, it played a significant role throughout Cuban history because it required only one single ingredient, cassava flour.
After they've created the powder, we come over here, and then my man just kind of cooks it a bit. All right, let's try it out. That's fascinating. It reminds me of eating like some kind of cereal that you'd mix with milk and sugar. Obviously, not really any flavor because this is just an ingredient for something more.
I think you are not abstracting your palate because I can feel flavors. Let's take another bite and let's dip into it.
Very airy, very light, and it seems like perfect for soaking up some sauce and some other flavors.
Actually, this is made to be in company of the flavors.
Yeah, I just
think
saw
about
that.
We are like Timon and Pumbaa. You know Timon and Pumbaa?
Yeah, I've heard.
We are like that. I just repeat what you say and I said it like this was my idea.
That's a good documentary, but very sad.
Really?
Yeah.
It was a documentary?
Yeah.
I'm getting educated right here.
In just a moment, my dude Oro
Oro's looking for a stick.
will face his biggest fear.
No, it's too much.
Yeah, it's too much.
But before that, we're stopping here, El Escapao, where we'll finally be able to try the casabe in the way it's meant to be eaten.
I wish those guys at the factory could see us now because we looked pretty silly eating this raw. But now we have the final dish accompanied by a soft drink, our sponsor, 2 Cola. Are you sick of 1 Cola? This is
2 Cola. You shouldn't sponsor this. This is a government-owned.
Oh, this is government? Yeah. Are we allowed to drink it?
When visiting Cuba, American tourists are prohibited from spending money at any Cuban government-owned businesses, from hotels to restaurants. As far as government-owned fizzy drinks, I think that's still a defensible gray area.
Oh shit, did I just fuck up my life? I just drank it.
You are on your own.
Holy crap, dude. What if I get arrested in the US for drinking a government-owned soda? Although, I gotta say, quite tasty.
Yeah, because it's hard caramel. That's why.
See? Let's try this out. The outside is super chewy still, huh?
You need to be really tender with it.
The sausage is delicious. Super interesting texture. If you gave this to me and you asked me what it was made from, I never would have guessed cassava. So, very cool.
Time to catch a crocodile, and the place to do that in Cuba is here, Criadero de Cocodrilos, a crocodile breeding facility that's been protecting Cuban crocodiles for more than 59 years.
Sir, first of all, thank you for joining us today.
Welcome, it's a pleasure.
Meet Etienne. He's been studying crocodiles here for 17 years. Today, he's giving us a VIP tour, which ends with a very hands-on experience.
Considering this is a place for conservation, why is it okay for us to eat crocodile meat?
Well, it's a good question. We have 4,000 animals here. We can use 100 per year for sale the meat and the leather. I mean, we use all the money for conservation.
Of course, this is super expensive to have like 4,000 crocodiles, and they're not eating corn. They're eating like meat?
Yeah, meat.
But before we catch the crocodile, we must understand the crocodile. So Etienne is showing us more.
So this is the reproduction area.
Yes, it's for reproduction, but also for study.
So you're watching them reproduce.
Oh,
Is that what you're trying to tell me? You're making it sound very scientific.
Sounds weird, but
Maybe they need soft music. Maybe they need like a magazine.
No, man.
These are the world's strongest terrestrial crocodiles. That means they feel equally at home on land as they do in the water. Despite their modest size, they can be highly dangerous to humans.
Have you ever been bit?
Yeah.
What? What should I do?
Just.
You bop it on the nose, huh?
Yeah, it's a weakness.
Oh, really? Bopping them on the nose, is there a weakness?
You can kill them if you hit them hard in the nose.
Ah.
Don't give your back.
Don't give my back.
No.
Not a problem.
No, come over here. Put your back on mine.
Okay. All right.
Right now, I think we're fine.
Finally, with valuable background knowledge in mind, we're ready to go face to face with the crocs.
Oro, listen, you have to approach these.
What's the reasonable reason to touch
To
them?
build courage.
I may have a history of pushing Oro into situations he's not totally comfortable with.
Holy, no, I don't want to do it, man.
But that's because Oro is my brother, and that's what brothers do. They push each other.
If he gets bit, we can definitely put this in the thumbnail.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hey, dude, you don't have to do any more acting.
I'm not acting to be afraid, dude. Brother, what are you talking about? Look.
Oh, I feel your nipple.
As Oro's younger, bigger brother, I feel it's my duty to lead by example.
Okay, I think I'm gonna get this one right here. Oh, no!
What happened?
You see?
I don't know. I'm just gonna pretend like I don't even want to catch any crocodiles. I got one. I'm gonna reel it in. Come on, buddy. Can we involve Oro? Oro said he wants to get over his fear.
Hold the neck.
I do that?
Yes, you're gonna do that.
Okay.
You gotta trust me, man.
Okay.
Hold the tail. Don't worry.
Okay.
You got this, man. Commit when you do it, 100%. Ah! Yeah, you got it.
I got it.
Oro, you did it.
I did it.
I'm proud of you, man. That was pretty epic, dude.
I did it, brother.
The croc is dispatched and the processing begins. The skin can be sold to further help fund the efforts at this center. The meat is headed to the restaurant where Alexis is waiting for us.
Do you know how we got this crocodile? My man, Oro, caught this by hand.
See?
Yeah.
We do?
See?
This is impossible, my friend.
You remember he said, impossible, right? I went and did it. I captured it.
It's small, it's small.
He's got you there. It is small.
All right.
Have you been able to speak English this whole time?
Alexis communicates beautifully through his words, but even more beautifully through his food. Around these parts, he's known as a master crocodile chef, and today he'll be preparing us 3 unique crocodile dishes. First, punta.
Punta.
Crocodile tail steak tips with veggies.
Now, right away before he puts it on, it smells fishy.
But as he cooks it, it's changing the smell.
It becomes what? More porky? More chickeny?
More grungy.
Grungy?
Yeah.
Huh. Let's try it out. Mmm. Oishi. I like that. Oh my god, it does taste a little porky. It's a little bit of everything.
But you know what? It looks like high-end meat. It has class.
The meat of the 1%.
While the grill is still hot, Alexis throws on the butterfly tail meat for a dish I call pork chops a la crocodile.
I'm gonna try this right here. If you just gave this to me, I would say this is a big pork chop.
Yeah, apparently it looks a little bit like pork with a big fish texture.
I'm gonna try it out right now.
This one is closer to chicken, but not exactly. It's like...
It's a whole new texture. It's a texture that's kind of between chicken and fish.
It's a cheese.
It's a chish.
Next, enchilado. Starting with their in-house tomato chili sauce, then the croc's neck and thigh meat, seasoned with black pepper and simmered until cooked through. Finished with the greens and veggies from the market this morning.
Bon appetit, my friend.
good, my friend.
If you didn't know that this is crocodile, would you say that this is 3 different meats?
Yeah, I would say that's pork chop, that might be some kind of fish, and that might be chicken. It's all over the place.
Actually, after chewing it, it gives me a little bit of potato flavor. So it can be the potato of the sea or the potato of the swamp, right?
How long have you had this restaurant?
7 years.
He crushed it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, I'm really impressed, sir. You killed it.
Thank you, my friend.
Actually, Oro helped kill it, but you did well with the cooking.
Our cross-country Cuba journey continues as we head to Cuba's east coast to the city of Baracoa.
Welcome to Baracoa. We are here
We have made it to our final destination.
in the middle of... We are also...
Due to its isolation, this region, surrounded by mountains, is a side of Cuba few outsiders have seen before.
It has a completely different feeling from the metropolitan vibes that you get from Havana. Coming out here, it's countryside.
A land that gave birth to a lot of our culture.
Unlike Cuba's more temperate west coast, ideal for growing tobacco and coffee, Baracoa is bringing the tropical heat.
Cacao. Not being used for chocolate, but used as an ingredient to season other more savory dishes.
There is a fish that they cook with the cacao.
Today is all about the fiesta.
Oh, is that a pig?
It's like a pig pet.
Are we eating that?
Combining the best flavors of Cuba's east coast into one spectacular meal.
Have you ever had pork intestine?
I did, not this way.
So brush up on your 8th grade Spanish, because this episode is about to be fuego.
Perhaps it'll be my first time here in Cuba trying a local cerveza, or even better.
Did Sonny say?
Country life. Where's Oro? Shouldn't Oro be helping? My friend hurt himself dancing yesterday. The only way to get him here through these kind of rocky roads, this uneven path, was to put him on a horse.
On our way to Baracoa, Oro and I are making a pit stop to visit a man by the name of Eimile, a farmer, a community leader, a hard-working dude. To get to his home, you can take the arduous journey through rocks, mud, and water by foot, or you can go in style.
Can you tell me how long you and your family have been here?
He 53 years of life he has been in.
Is sugarcane your specialty here?
His specialty is more like agriculture, but cacao is like the biggest fruit on this area.
Cuba used to be a sugarcane heaven. Once the biggest exporter in the world, until trade stopped with the US. Then later, subsidies from the Soviet Union stopped coming in around the early 90s. Sugar prices crashed. Nonetheless, Eimile still continues a small operation here on his farm.
In other places, there is more sugarcane factory, but here what he has is a trapiche. This trapiche is from France, but actually trapiche in general was introduced to Cuba by Spanish people. And it was a way to generate syrup out of the sugarcane, and they use that for the cacao, for the chocolate. Alcohol also comes from there.
Ah, this is basically the origin story for rum. Can you believe? He's an actual Cuban. He's never had rum.
No. Yo no soy muy tomador de joven, no soy tomador de.
Is that he doesn't drink that much either.
Oh, all right, that's not what I was looking for.
After extracting the juice, it's filtered to remove any unwanted bits. Cool it up with a bit of ice, and we're ready to kick this refreshing drink back.
How often do you drink this?
Permanente casi.
Almost every day. Because he works in the countryside, he needs a way to hydrate himself. In this case, this is called guarapo.
All right, let's try it out. yeah, it's kind of thick. You know, it's sweet, but it's also a little bit earthy. I didn't expect that.
It's really good. Actually, I used to love this when I was a kid. Drinking with a lot of ice, and it's super refreshing.
Sugarcane is no longer the golden crop it once was, to the point that Cuba now imports sugar from other countries. Still, sugarcane is an important part of Cuban agriculture and an icon like Cuban coffee and Cuban tobacco.
Oh, what?
Now, with a belly full of fresh sugarcane juice, Oro and I are finally headed to Baracoa. Surrounded by mountains and situated along the coast. Right now, we've just arrived at Daisy's farm.
Hi. I mean, hola.
Hola.
¿Cómo está?
Bien, usted.
I ran out of Spanish.
This lady single-handedly tends to this piece of land all by herself, from farming to gathering to protecting her home. Today, we're gonna find out why the people of this village call her the Queen of Cacao.
Oh, what did you eat for breakfast today?
Yo estaba dialogando con el señor porque con las tazas de chorote que tomamos, chocolate.
She called me señor.
Oh, probably means sir.
She respects me more than you.
Well, she doesn't know you yet.
She eats a lot of cacao the whole day. That's why she have.
What is so special about the cacao? Where I'm from, all I can think of is just chocolate.
They have a traditional drink which called chorote.
Ah, well, I know chocolate. When I was in middle school, we sang the song Bate Bate Chocolate. Does that mean we mix the chocolate?
Mm-hmm.
And that is the end of my Spanish.
Being in the highlands and covered in shade, this environment is the perfect place for cacao trees to thrive. The seed pods of this variety are ready to pick after they've turned red.
So right here you can see the bud. Would you call this a bud?
Una bellota de cacao, pero los campesinos le decimos mazorca de cacao.
Yeah, it's like a bud.
Cool.
It takes 5 years for a cacao tree to produce its first seed pods. And you need 10 pods like this to make 1 pound of cocoa. Or is it cacao? I don't know. Eventually, it's gonna be chocolate, and that's what really matters here. She chops the pod in half, revealing tons of cocoa seeds inside. Seeds get removed and placed on a bed of banana leaves, where they ferment for 11 days. When the moment is right, it's time for these beans to roast.
Cacao, when it's very raw, is very good for the heart, to give you natural energy. When the cacao has a lot of bitterness, it's very good for the blood pressure. It's super good.
I'm looking for something that's gonna help me be healthier, look younger from the inside out. Honestly, look at me. How old do you think I am?
Pico largo más un poquito 40
22.
22.
Yeah.
Next, the grinder, transforming this cocoa from beans to a thick cocoa paste. This raw, fresh cocoa can be used to cook any number of dishes.
I just want to try this before it goes on to the next stage. Cacao seed. It's super bitter. Like you can taste the hints of chocolate. Like, okay, I can see how that would taste like chocolate eventually.
Maybe I'm wrong. It also tastes a little bit like coffee.
That kind of roasted, nutty flavor.
The chorote starts with water, then freshly ground cacao powder, cinnamon leaf, milk powder, banana flour, and sugar, mixing and boiling until it's ready. And eso.
Salud.
Salud.
From the Queen of Chocolate. Let's try it out. Oh, wow, that's fantastic. It's got like a heartiness to it. It's not like a milk. It's like a chocolatey puree. It's so thick, there's so much body to it.
She said that this is the countryman energy drink. When you get all the nutrients for the banana and all the elements that banana brings, with the energy scent and the heart opener of the cacao, you get a drink that keeps the farmers strong and working hard all day.
Like Baracoa Red Bull.
Le doy las gracias porque...
She said she's very thankful because this is something that is very normal, like countryside can be boring, but she's very pleased how much you have liked this trip. So,
Ha sido un placer para mí.
Thank you so much.
Hola. A short drive from Daisy's farm, we finally make it to our final location. This is where the fiesta will go down in a matter of hours. El Burrito, one of the oldest, most remote settlements in Cuba.
Hey! Here we are. We've come here for what is called a Nangang, the dance thing.
Ah, Nangong. It sounds Vietnamese a little bit, but it's not.
Fiestas here happen almost weekly, and they're the only remaining community in Cuba still doing a traditional dance known as the Ngangan and Cariba.
This kind of party, they get together, they put a lot of food and share with each other. This is actually that they do what?
What about rum?
They have rum.
All right.
Okay.
Will you try some rum?
Here, it's all about eating local, including these coconuts used in almost every dish. Also, there's lechon.
In the West Coast, they cook the lechon more marinated and they cook it with the sauce. In here, they put the sauce after it's ready.
So right now, there's no flavoring of any kind.
It's just natural, getting burned.
Getting burned. That sounds like great preparation. You really are a food expert.
I am.
Cool, sounds good.
I have more to say. I don't know why you're...
Nah, we can go down.
Preparation is already underway. For lunch, or shall we call it pre-fiesta?
Everything is served in guira. Guira is a local plant, but you can find it all over Cuba. It's this hard shell. It was very important for them.
Their first course, crab rice. Just a few steps away, in a local home, a husband-wife team put their talents together to create this dish. She does the cooking, while he performs the important task of showing me around his homemade gym. It's a combo of crab meat, rice, tomatoes, and other local ingredients. The rice is steamed until it's cooked through, or until your workout is complete.
All right, I'm gonna try some of this. Here's crab rice. Oh, that's super good. It's just a hint of earthy crab.
By the way,
milky.
You know these spatulas? They used to use it for vomit because they think that vomiting was a way to freedom your spirit. So they eat a lot, and the next day they use this. It's real.
Fish.
These golden fish get deep fried, a little bit of onion, and a smothering of rich, creamy coconut milk.
Try it out. Pretty good. It's like very fried. It's like become a little leathery because it's cooled down.
Let's try it together with this. It's made out of breadfruit. Very good.
See, I'm dying to try this one. It's kind of like their version of a tamale.
This is called bacan. The elements are like known like the tamale. The outside is made out of banana leaf. Inside, they scratch the coconut and plantain, and they mix it with crab.
What makes it orange?
Right there, you see those red things? It's called chote or bijol, and the seeds is what makes it this color.
Oh yeah, you taste the coconut right away.
Yeah, I love the fact that they don't put a lot of salt.
Really light flavors, a little bit sweet, and then just tons of coconut oil flavor.
Just in time, the lechon has survived its 3-hour journey through hell, and we're ready to see what it's really made of.
So right now they're taking out the wood pole. He's holding the head. My man over here, pulling the stick all the way out. Give it a flip. And look at the stomach that's been sewn up here. I think he's about to cut that open. Oh, okay, but next to the scar, he just made a new C-section scar. Oh man, I've never seen this before.
All the organs has been cooked inside.
Inside here?
Yeah, with rice.
You can just smell like all the pig fat has just entered and saturated this rice. There's bean, there's some liver on here too though.
I feel I'm in a gourmet autopsy.
Oh, let's try it out.
Whoa.
That is delicious. It doesn't have a ton of seasoning, it's just soaked up all that porky essence in there.
I never tried anything like this.
That's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, he's also got some pork here for us. I bet that other pig would eat this pig. You ready? Oh, so juicy. It's very nice. Well, actually, have you ever tried this? It's super crunchy, huh? Which is good.
If you don't think about it.
From this point, they're gonna get this ready, break it down, cut it up, and get it ready for our feast tonight. Let's do it.
In this village, they know the best cut of meat comes from the inside. I'm not saying this pig only had a lot of heart, but it had guts too. Guts that our local chef turned into braids, something I definitely haven't seen before. The larger bits of intestines are filled with raw blood. Both are boiled, cut into pieces, then cooked again in oil. Before the fiesta kicks off, there's one person we have to meet.
¿Cuál es su nombre?
Antonio Palmero Ramírez.
Antonio Palmero Ramírez.
Meet the man behind it all. The fiesta, the food, it doesn't happen without him. He even donated his own land to create the fiesta having area where this community gathers most weekends. But his contributions don't stop there. To complement all of today's bold and heavy flavors, Antonio is bringing something sweet.
Bueno, esto siempre ha tenido su nombre. cucurucho.
This one that you see here, that is a cucurucho, which is more soft. Cucurucho means cone.
This traditional dessert is made by cooking down coconut, water, guava, papaya, and sugar for 4 hours, creating a concentrated sweetness as the water evaporates.
Let's try it out. Oh,
Surprise.
we have a winner.
Actually, I wanted you to go all the way here. Right.
For this one, have you had this before?
Yes.
Man, oh, it's hard to explain the flavor a little bit. It's like the inside is like that super rich, sweet, coconutty bit, all kind of mashed together with some fruity guava notes on top of that.
This is my favorite thing in the world.
This is crazy. This could be in like a 5-star restaurant as a dessert. Can I ask, how old are you?
88.
What is your secret to a long life?
Mi papá murió de 108 años. Yo tengo el hermano mayor mío, murió de 105 años.
But does he have any secret?
No, yo no tengo ningún secreto. Mi trabajo. Yo todos los días trabajo.
So when do you plan on retiring?
Dice que si tú planeas retirarte.
Antonio, like many others I've met here, finds joy in the simple things: hard work, community, and being grateful for what he has. He's embodied the idea that happiness isn't a specific destination, but something to be unlocked within ourselves at any time.
This moment makes me happy, being able to interact, talk to you, and try this food. It's mind-blowingly delicious. That hidden away in this small kitchen on the eastern part of Cuba is something that people around the world would die for. So it's an honor to try it out.
Can you repeat, sorry?
Oh, you look emotional.
I am. The Kirimba and Nengon, they are the mother of something called song. Song is kind of like the father of salsa and other popular rhythms.
Is one of them like this?
This is kind of like embarrassing.
This ancestral dance has been here for over a century, and people are doing their best to keep the tradition alive. Oro, on the other hand, I think he's just making it up as he goes.
The motions that they do is imitating what they do in the fields. And it actually feels a little bit like vowels. You know what I mean?
Oh, waltz.
Waltz.
I got you this.
All right.
Do you know what that's for?
Water.
Rum. Does it feel weird at all, having seen my show so many times and then now being part of it?
I don't know, man. For other people, you are the guy of the show. For me, you're my friend. You know, before when we're living together, we always have this kind of conversation.
The difference is, when we had those discussions, I was drinking and you were not.
Yeah.
But today, you're drinking and actually, I'll be drinking too.
I'm not responsible for what happened after this.
Cheers.
It's not that bad.
Really?
Yeah, I think I can handle this.
Did your dad drink a lot?
My dad doesn't drink.
That makes sense.
My mom.
They're coming up to you. What the fuck is happening? Here's what we need. We need some food. I'll be right back.
Oh shit, man, this is burning. This just made me wanna laugh. This is working real quickly, though.
All right, what are you guys talking about?
I didn't say anything.
Are you drunk?
You want somebody? Or you want somebody? He seems pretty lonely.
You had half a shot. Listen, we're about to finish things up. Here, I got this because this is a great combination of the unique dishes here that they're making in this area, including 2 things we're gonna try that I know it's gonna be out of your comfort zone.
Okay.
The first one is this. Grab that.
Okay.
No, it's not that. It's an intestine braid.
Oh.
Have you ever had pork intestine?
I did, not this way.
That's good.
It's not bad.
Dude, that is drinking food if I've ever had drinking food.
I understand why people drink alcohol and eat this shit.
Exactly. It's like fatty and porky, super simple. But man, putting it together in that way creates this awesome chewy texture. I like that a lot. The last thing, this one I love, because this is like the most simple way I've ever seen blood sausage made.
Yeah.
They just poured blood into the intestine. Ooh, it's so meaty. It kind of tastes like organ meat. It's like halfway between heart and liver.
Yeah, if you give me like this by itself and I squish and I taste it, I would think I'm eating a heart.
And you'd be okay with that?
Fair enough.
At this point, Oro and I have driven completely across the country of Cuba in just a few days, sampling the country's most eye-dazzling, tongue-tingling cuisine.
I got the opportunity not just hang out with you, but hang out with very humble people from my country. Coming here is more about this is what we got and we need to make it work and also find a way to be happy. So for me, that is very encouraging.
My brother, for real though, I'm glad we did this.
Yeah.
Our grand finale takes place in the country's capital, Havana, where we'll get to taste the Cuba of the future.
Oh, where are my sunglasses? Here we are, we're in Havana, coast on my left, buildings on my right. I'm in the back of a convertible.
Over decades, a history of economic restriction and a U.S. embargo banning trade with Cuba meant tough times here for any potential business owners.
In Cuba, it's very important to pay attention to the limits. Those limits can change the kind of food that you're making.
We'll witness how a country riddled with hardships and struggle has developed a culture of innovation, adaptation, and entrepreneurship.
Excelente.
She said, if you don't say so, she will kill you.
From a Michelin-rated chef,
It's like, have you ever been interviewed in your own show?
to a giant pizza oven that's completely homemade.
Normally people buy these in other countries, but they made these from scratch.
Did you draw a blueprint?
This is the story of how Cuban people overcame the odds to bring delicious food to the masses.
Why is your arm so close to mine?
Right, I didn't notice.
For me, coming to Havana, it's like coming to a car show. Why are there so many old cars here?
It comes from the 40s and 50s. A lot of car companies came and test the car here. And 60 years ago, when the embargo started, we got stuck in a Volvo with those old cars.
About 5 times a day, I'll see somebody bent over the hood of their car, wrenching on something, trying to make it work again. How are people still able to fix these things?
That's the thing. If you live in Cuba and you have any tech, you need to know how to fix it. Anything, a computer, a car.
Our first location, right here. Every day from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., El Cafe is offering locals and tourists a warm fusion of Cuban and international food. Behind every satisfied customer is the man who spent 6 years in London mastering his craft, not just cooking, but learning how to run a restaurant at the same time. His name is Nelson.
Nelson, huge pleasure meeting you.
Nice to meet you, man.
You lived outside of Cuba for some time. Why did you decide to come back?
Well, was problem in my life. I need to come back to Cuba to look after my dad. In that moment, Cuba was developed about the private business. We come here and decide to open our own cafe.
The Cuba of today is a lot different than the Cuba of a couple decades ago, when government-owned and operated restaurants was the norm.
There was a lot of restrictions at the beginning, so the possibilities for owners to own their own businesses, it took a long time.
Of course, in a government-owned restaurant with no owner, with no vision, there was also no incentive for workers to perform at a high level. These days, as the government relaxes more regulations, more and more private business owners are stepping up. And when you're pouring your heart and soul into your own company, the quality shows.
Dude, do you call omelets tortillas?
Yes.
Really? Where does that come from?
Spain.
I've seen a lot of things in an omelet, never banana.
In Cuba, there is a big relationship between banana and kids. Moms used to put bananas on the omelet to give it a little bit of sweet flavor. And sometimes they even sprinkle sugar on top of it, like this.
Did you experience that too?
Yeah.
Sorry, I need to check if this is the truth. It's weird, but I don't hate it. It's something very unique. You're an entrepreneur, you had an idea, and it's worked. I'm sure you've built momentum over time. But right now, what are the challenges for entrepreneurs in Cuba?
The supply.
The supply.
Sometimes you need to walk for 1-2 hours or the shop around the area to get just butter or milk.
Being a restaurant owner in any part of the world is an unenviable challenge. In Cuba, even more so.
She has an idea of the whole day. She prepares everything for the menu. And when she's running out of resources, she starts to wipe out every piece of element that she doesn't have until she runs out of everything.
Restaurants in general can have hundreds of items they need to stock regularly from distributors. Cooking oil, dish soap, meat, napkins, receipt paper. In Cuba, breakdowns in this supply chain are still common, so even something we may take for granted, like butter, may be easily found today and nowhere to be found tomorrow. Meet Lizzie, born and raised in Cuba, but she lived in Italy for 14 years. She returned to Cuba and opened this restaurant 2.5 years ago, bringing her Italian experience and fusing it with Cuban flavors and ingredients.
What are the most challenging ingredients for you to find?
Casi todo es bastante difícil de encontrar, pero...
First of all, she has a mother spirit. So she brought that spirit to the restaurant, where she needs to think ahead. Because your kids, if they don't have anything to eat, you can be like, oh, I'm sorry. No, you need to feed them as a mom. So that's why she chose to make it simple, not just for the palate of people, but also for her to find ingredients. The case of finding ingredients is seasonal, especially like cheese, because she used a mozzarella cheese. It can be hard to find or can just disappear. But she found a local supplier that made it. So they don't rely on the government to create that. They rely in the connections that they make with each other. That's what keeps business like this alive.
Wow.
Lizzie is serving up one of her favorite creations, Pico La Escuena. It's basically a Cuban calzone. Placed cheese, rope vieja, a mix of beef and pork, then fried sweet plantain in the middle of their homemade pizza dough. Fold it in half, edge it up, and they put it in their homemade oven.
Where do you get a pizza oven like this?
Lo construimos.
She said that this is custom made by different locals.
In the US, if you need a commercial pizza oven, you just go online, find a distributor, and order one. In Cuba, you hire a welder, an engineer, and a plumber to work together and make this from scratch.
They imagine, what do I need? And then with the materials that they have here, they shape their own.
Cuban made in Cuba. It looks like a giant calzone, but I know it's stuffed with delicious Cuban ingredients. Actually, this is what we had in Miami, the rope vieja.
It's softer than my grandma's thigh. My grandma's thigh is very soft.
I'm gonna dig into it. Oh, look at this. We've got some dough, some cheese, some of this delicious pork. People always complain on my show that I take tiny little bites, so I'm gonna try taking a big bite.
Let's go for it. Do you feel the rumba?
I don't know what that is.
It's a Cuban dance.
Yeah. It's very delicious. It's doughy, cheesy, and then I feel the plantain has some sweetness in there too.
Yeah.
It's such a combination between savory and a little sweet. Oh, and that mozzarella is very good.
It kicks really hard.
When you were a kid growing up in Cuba, could you get mozzarella cheese anywhere?
I didn't know what cheese was.
Our next stop, a hidden gem. On the outside, a not so noteworthy looking shop, but inside, you can't ignore the aroma of baked bread or the food laboratory put together by some kind of culinary mad scientist.
I've been all over the world with my show, many different countries, tons of different restaurants. This is actually the first Michelin-rated restaurant that I've been to ever, and it's right here in Cuba.
Meet Alberto, head chef and owner of Cuban Pizza.
Thank you so much for having us today.
He was born and raised in Cuba, but lived in Italy for 16 years, becoming a master of his vocation. Now, he's back, sharing his passion for food creation and innovation in Havana. In 2007, he was the first Cuban chef to be awarded a Michelin star.
When did you first become interested in food?
Mi interés empezó
His grandma inspired him to food, but his mom wanted him to be an engineer who has more prestige, so he became a food chemist.
Is it because he had to do something to satisfy his parents?
I don't know yet.
Prácticamente sí.
It's about compromising. In the end, it was actually more beneficial because he could understand food in a more technological level. So you mix science and art and you can make something that can go straight to the emotion.
My heart is not here, it's here.
Yeah, but for him, your heart is here.
Yeah, exactly.
The menu today is, well, there is no menu. The chef will take us on a multi-course journey of flavors after sizing us up and playing to our palates. To begin, his pride and joy.
Pan, familia.
Bread is family.
Pan es amigo.
Bread is friendship.
An 87-year-old family recipe for 3 types of whole grain bread, served with homemade jam.
This is delicious, super sweet, like aromatic. Like I taste it in my mouth and I taste it in my nose. We've got a little bit of pork and pink stuff.
It's a mayonnaise made out of beef.
It's nice though. Having the window here, we can just really see the magic happen. Ooh. The power of the beets just completely transformed the color of this mayonnaise. Let's go for it. Is there more? The beets themselves are very earthy and a little bit sweet.
What is interesting to me is like it has the Cuban flavor. History, tradition, all that is put in on this little thing.
For course 3, lobster tail, minced and set atop a glass of squash puree. Finally, drizzled with an infused oil the chef won't identify until I try to give it a guess.
Voila. I know this is gonna smell good. Oh, truffle.
He understands everything.
It's like this man has a nose. Man, this is really good.
Delicious, super rich truffle. I could go to a bar, get a shot of vodka and a shot of whatever that is.
Now, since he knows my palate, he whips together a pasta and white sauce dish he calls the scent of forest.
I love this style where he kind of reads you what seasonings you like and then gives you more of that.
Next, codfish with a coconut corn tamale. First, he stir-fries the okra with shredded cod and his homemade secret sauce. Then he layers in flavor using a vacuum smoking machine. He plates, he drizzles, he serves.
Have you ever seen a tamale like this?
No, he kind of elevated that traditions of eating okra, mix it with the cod, and man, I never tried also tamale with coconut.
Oh really? It seems like an obvious addition. That's so good. The cod is usually a very light fish, but he's made it so rich.
Sí, like it.
Yeah.
Running a restaurant, let alone a Michelin-rated restaurant, is a huge undertaking in Cuba. Alberto here is a true success story.
Sir, I gotta say, beyond meeting you, I feel like I know you better just from trying out your menu. You're like a food alchemist and an artist all wrapped into one. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This is Fábrica de Arte Cubano, a maze of art galleries, clubs, exhibitions, and eateries, all entangled inside what used to be an oil factory. This is the ultimate community project, pushing against limitations and now symbolizing the Cuba of the future.
What do you think of this one?
Interesting.
He's got a great body.
Like me.
Well, I'm kind of jealous.
Similar than mine.
I heard this used to be an oil factory, but now it's art.
Art.
What happened? How'd that work?
That's the answer, art.
Okay. Could you maybe go more in detail?
For more than 30 years it was abandoned, but now they reconstructed it into a cultural project.
I've heard it said that limitations push creativity. Cuba is one of the most creative, inventive, entrepreneurial places I've been. In this eatery, Lizette, the owner of Tapas FAC, is introducing me to a food invented by Cubans in Tampa, Florida, then adopted back into Cuba. The Cubano, made of roasted and smoked pork, Gouda cheese, lettuce, pickles, and spicy mustard in baguette bread.
Oh,
This is good.
excelente.
She said, if you don't say so, she will kill you.
Super cheesy, nice mustard cake, and man, that bread is perfect. Like soft on the inside, nice cushiony bread, toasty on the very outside. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. This is your place, this section of the factory. Are there just a bunch of different sections with different owners?
This is actually a team that works as independent. They are private businesses, all different, but they kind of collaborate and interact as a whole team.
In this trip, we've been all over Cuba, from West Coast to East Coast, in the countryside, meeting many different types of people, many different types of cuisine. This place is one of a kind, definitely in Cuba. What does this place represent for Cuba?
Bueno, creo que me es súper importante que exista.
She doesn't have a lot to add because this place speaks for itself. She's very grateful that she could create more than a team, more than a group of workers. She thinks this place is a hub of culture, entertainment and love, but also this place is made by Cubans.
In just 7 days, we drove across the entirety of this country and back to its capital. A week is hardly enough time to know a place well, but still I can say what Cuba means to me. Cuba is struggle. Cuba is overcoming. Cuba is success in the face of adversity. Cuba is being grateful for what you have, but Cuba is also fighting for a better future.
What is the future for entrepreneurs in Cuba?
I really don't know, but the only thing that I can say is we need to be flexible and try to do something different with everything that you can get here in Cuba.
Where does that come from? That idea of like keep fighting, find a different way, be resourceful.
Cubans are not from here. We have to come here and adapt to the island. Sometimes we don't notice because it's become that survival, like if you stop doing it, you die. So that kind of survival has set the path of what we are right now. And for your other question, they may not know what the future of entrepreneur is right now in the country, but for sure, the future of the country is in the entrepreneurs. Because I think more than politics, more than culture, more than everything, they are shaping what can be the future of this country.
Mic drop.
Boom! Boom, boom!
It is the end of the episode. We did it. Oro, thank you so much. Guys, check out Oro on Instagram. That's his main platform of interest. He does all kinds of artistic endeavors. It's quite a treat. That is it for this one, guys. I will see you next time. A peace.
Hay paz.